back to Straight Line Solutions. Today we got a treat for you. We're back on the black Supra again. Took a little break from the red one this week. That's something I've been trying to do for a while. We told you about it in a couple previous videos. This is the drift handle that I bought for this car. Jared will put a link up on the screen for it. What we got here is Twisted Images drift handle. It comes exactly like what you see here. It doesn't come with any fittings, but it does, however, come with that adapter to go from male to female 3/8 24 pipe thread. It comes with a Willwood. I believe it's a 3/4 bore brake master cylinder. It does not come with any fittings, and I will tell you now before you order, I had to modify mine for a different fitting. You need to get I believe it's a 7/8 by 20 adapter to go to a 3/8 by 24, or 7/16 by 20, sorry. But yeah, when you order that, go ahead and order that adapter. Otherwise, for about 200 bucks, you can install this drift handle in your car and have a drift handle on pretty much any vehicle you want. So we're going to walk you through today on how to install this, get it working good in this thing, and then we're going to take her out for a test run. So let's get started. Alright, so first things first, this is a chunk of brake line. You can go buy this new at AutoZone. It's like 15 bucks. We're doing things as cheaply as possible around here because that's what our channel is all about. This is a piece I had off of a rear axle out of a truck that was laying around here. These you're going to have to probably buy new unless you find something that's got one spliced, but these are splices for the brake lines, for a 3/16 brake line. They sell them. Walk into AutoZone or O'Reilly's and ask for a splice kit for a brake line. 3/16 is the usual common size for any car. That's what this size is right here. Now, what we're going to do to start here, there's a brake line that runs from the master cylinder of this car down and all the way back to the rear brakes, and it tees off to go to each brake. But before it tees off, it comes out of one single line that runs all the way to the front. That line runs right beside the shifter underneath the bottom of the car. So what I'm going to do is cut that line, and we're going to cut it in a couple places about that far away from each other, and we're going to take a splice. We're going to put it on that line. We're going to splice this line in and shoot it up through the floor, and then we're going to put another splice on the other line that comes from the master cylinder and shoot another one of these lines up through the floor. That's why we got two splices. Essentially what those are going to do, they're going to come up through the floor and they're going to connect to your drift handle. One goes in, one comes out, and it sits about like this, and you pull back. What that does is it takes the fluid from your master cylinder and pushes it out through here. This is a blow-through style or pass-through style master cylinder. So when you press your brakes like normal, your brake pedal, your pressure still comes through here and it still comes out here, and it still pushes pressure to your rear brakes. But by pulling this handle, it takes the fluid from your master cylinder up here and pushes it out here, puts it to your rear brakes without applying your front brakes, locking your rear brakes up. To start here, we're going to crawl underneath the car. I'm going to cut those lines and we're going to stick them up through the floor. Hey, hit that like and subscribe button. With brake line, you don't want to get too wild with it. They make an actual tubing bender. You don't have to have a tubing bender. Just be smart with how you bend it. Don't let it use your thumb to kind of make it go wherever you want it. Don't do any 90-degree angles. They make a tubing cutter for this. I really don't need one. Phillips screwdriver. Stick that right in the end there. Clean the burrs out. And that's with a tubing cutter or without a tubing cutter. I'll clean that bad boy up, and then I'm going to take it into the bench vise and the grinder. And there we're going to clean the burrs off the edge of it and make it flat. So now what we got here, we cut it a little bit far back. Take your wire wheel to it, nice clean flat edge. The splices that I have are not for using the double flare ends on them. It's just like a normal plumbing splice. Got a little mud in my mouth, I don't know why. There you go, there's your splice. We're gonna go under there and we're gonna clean the other side up on the car and splice that in and run it. It's gonna turn up, come up through the floor. We're gonna do that on both different sides. We'll have two different lines that come up. You can do these a little differently in a different car, but this is this car and you know how we do things a little dirty around here. This line here, I'm gonna double check, but I believe this was the one that goes to the front, which goes to the rear. This one comes out of the master cylinder, that's going to go to the rear of this. And then we're going to make a mount after we get these all solid ran in there.
Quick question. What's with this body in the bag thing you got from eBay?
eBay sells bodies in bags now.
Oh, so I can get one right now?
Yeah, you can order one right now. I'll try and find the link for it.
All right, thanks.
Yeah. At any auto parts store you go to, O'Reilly's, CarQuest, AutoZone, Pep Boys, Joe Blow's Auto Parts down the street, they're going to have one of these. It's a double flare kit. For those of you that know, you know. If you don't know, well, this is what it is, and I'm going to teach you how to use it. You're going to want to get the size of brake line you're using. 3/16 is what we're using. You're going to take this out. The big thing you're going to want to remember, and get that and that. You want to cut this bad boy off clean. Like I said, use a cutter tool that they sell literally probably right next to this thing, or I use this cutoff wheel. You want it as flat of an edge as you can possibly get. Take and clean the boogers off around the outside. I do it this way. You can take it to the bench vise, whatever. You take a wire wheel on your drill or your grinder and do it, but you want to get the boogers all off of it. If you got a nice car, you might do this not inside of it, but we've got the Supra. You take your screwdriver, you stick that little guy up in there and you clean that out. Once you got it good and clean, take your, this is a 1/2 inch. You take this little guy, and you go in here, you find your 3/16, put it around here, and you give yourself, you see how wide that is? You want to put that right up next to that, and give yourself about that much room. You clamp that down. Clamp that down, and you want to suck it down as tight as it'll go. Jared, I'm an idiot. Okay, so don't do what I did and let that move. Like I told you. Don't let that move. You're gonna want to cut it. You want to cut your smashed flat piece off. And try not to do that again. And try not to do that again. All right, take 3. You put the nut on the line before you flare it. Here we go. Now we got a nice little flare. It's ready to go in this thing. We're gonna go ahead and speed through and make the next one and get it ready to go. Kind of get it borderline eyeballed where we want it. And then we'll get the welder out and I'm gonna weld a piece of plate on the bottom, like not to the bottom of the brake handle itself, but to the floor here, so the brake handle can hold up to it. And I'm going to put a piece of iron that goes down at an angle to bolt to the floor so it's solid. So pretty much when we get the harnesses in this car, I need to be able to reach out and grab that perfectly, suck tight into a harness. So we'll adjust it kind of where the seat's set, foot feels good, not going to hit the shifter, be able to put it in 5th gear, reverse, still be able to use that. So this is our homemade drift handle bracket. Got 3 holes down there. We got them lined up here. We want to put these in, put it in down here, and we're going to pretty much weld it to the floorboard. You know how we do things around here. This car is not pretty. It don't need to be pretty. It just needs to work. Weld that to the floorboard. It's going to come in and bolt on top of it. The handle's going to come out up here. We're going to get this welded real quick, get that handle mounted, and go try and slide this thing. Just casually, like, hey, your car's on fire. That's all good. It's okay. This isn't actual Supra parts I'm burning here. That's a piece of rubber belt material that I use to keep the shifter boot hole closed, so that way you don't hear all the road noise and see the ground while you're driving. We're professionals, and I use that term very loosely. So they do make a drift brake holder that you don't have to weld to your floor or make out of angle iron. The guys at Donut Media, the high car, low car guys, you should check out their channel. They're really good guys. They actually went and bought a CNC piece that bolts around. They were using 350Zs, which are a really common car for this. It bolts around the shifter bolts, and then it has a little platform that comes out to the side that your drift handle bolts onto. I didn't buy one of those. I'm cheap, and you guys know, I'm cheap, and we do things a little bit redneck around here, and that's fine. But yeah, I definitely suggest, if you got the money, if you got the ability to, you got the car to. That's the other thing, is this is a Supra. They don't have, not the good Supra either, the other Supra. They don't have a lot of aftermarket support for these cars. That's why it's got a 5.0 in it, and we're not running the stock engines anymore, because they don't. The 5MGE, any of the suspension parts, they really don't offer an aftermarket that much for these cars. So if you got another car like a BMW or a 350Z or something, just go ahead and buy the parts you need, and it'll save you a little time and a little money too. So yeah, that's why we're doing this way. All right, so we got a little side-to-side action going on here. That's gonna be fine. We're gonna fix it with this. Plan here is we're gonna weld here and straight down to the floor. Now for all you rednecks out there, you know what I'm talking about. You've done this before. But yeah, let's get you a bolt, man. You don't have to go out there and find a piece of rebar or something nice. It'll take a long time to cut something up. You just get you this little guy. It'll take care of your problems real easy.
Fully bolt on, isn't it?
Yeah, bolt on. Yeah. Good one, Jared. Now we got all our welding done. Finish up putting them lines back in there. And then we just got bleed brakes. Lock them up?
Yeah.
Look, we got a drift handle. That feels weirdly awesome. I've never been so excited in my life. I got a drift car, dude. I got something really cool. man, that thing spins a whole lot better now. Jeez. How'd that look? That is a whole new animal, man. It whipped so hard.
What is this? That's what I was. That's it.
It's the rack and pinion out of the other Supra. But Jared actually got it in the video today. He goes, I didn't know they sold. He goes, I didn't know they sold dead bodies on eBay, and I was like, oh yeah, that's a new thing that they're trying. Let me teach you how to drift. It's not really even that hard.
Baby steps.
Especially with that. That just made all of my life a lot easier. Grab second quick enough. I wonder what that shot looked like. A couple of hiccups, but we got her all back together. We're good to go. Thanks for watching Straight Line Solutions. We'll get back with you guys in the next video, and please hit that like and subscribe button if you want to help us grow the channel. Thanks.